High on the Tibetan plateau lies Aksai Chin, a desolate expanse of rock and ice, characterized by its harsh climate and rugged terrain. This remote region, largely uninhabited and inhospitable, has become a focal point of tension between two Asian giants, India and China. While both countries claim sovereignty over Aksai Chin, China has controlled the territory since the 1962 Sino-Indian War, a conflict that left deep scars and unresolved disputes. Recently, China intensified its assertion of control by establishing a new county in Aksai Chin called Heian, a move that has significant geopolitical implications. This move has further inflamed tensions and raised concerns about China's broader strategic intentions, especially in the context of its expanding influence in the region. The establishment of Heian County is not merely an administrative decision. It represents a calculated effort to strengthen China's grip on the area. It is a potent symbol of China's determination to solidify its hold over this contested region, reflecting its long-term strategic goals. By incorporating Aksai Chin more deeply into its administrative structure, China is sending a clear message to India and the international community about its unwavering stance. This message underscores China's resolve to treat Aksai Chin as an integral part of its territory, regardless of international criticism or historical claims, and highlights the ongoing complexities of border politics in this volatile region. The roots of the Aksai Chin dispute lie in the complex and often turbulent history of the region, marked by shifting powers and unclear boundaries. During the British Raj, the area now encompassing Aksai Chin was loosely defined, with the British administration often neglecting the remote and harsh terrain. Different boundary lines were proposed and considered by various British officials, but no definitive agreement was reached, leaving the region's status ambiguous. After India gained independence in 1947, it inherited these unresolved boundary issues, which became a significant challenge for the new nation. China, meanwhile, maintained its own historical claims to the region, citing ancient maps and records to support its stance. The situation escalated in the 1950s as China began constructing a strategic road through Aksai Chin, aiming to enhance its connectivity and military logistics. This road, connecting Tibet to Xinjiang, traversed territory claimed by India, further complicating the already tense relations between the two nations. India's protests over the road's construction were ignored by China, leading to increased diplomatic friction and mutual distrust. The dispute over Aksai Chin, along with other territorial disagreements, ultimately led to the 1962 Sino-Indian War, a brief but intense conflict. The war ended in a Chinese victory and solidified China's control over Aksai Chin, leaving a legacy of unresolved tension and ongoing disputes. China's establishment of Heian County is the latest development in the long-running Aksai Chin saga, a region that has been a flashpoint for decades. This new county, administered under the jurisdiction of Hotan Prefecture in Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region, encompasses a significant portion of the disputed territory, which has been a contentious issue between China and India. The move has been widely interpreted as a deliberate attempt by China to strengthen its grip on Aksai Chin and further legitimize its claims, a strategy that has been met with international scrutiny and concern. The strategic significance of Heian County cannot be overstated as it plays a crucial role in China's broader geopolitical strategy. Aksai Chin is not only resource-rich but also strategically vital to China, offering vast mineral resources and other natural assets that are essential for economic growth. It provides a crucial link between Tibet and Xinjiang, two restive regions that China is determined to control, ensuring stability and connectivity within its borders. Moreover, Aksai Chin offers China a strategic advantage in the event of any future conflict with India, giving it a tactical upper hand in the region. By establishing Heian County, China aims to bolster its military presence and infrastructure in the region, further solidifying its control and ensuring its long-term strategic interests are safeguarded.
The Indian Ministry of External Affairs issued a strongly worded statement, rejecting China's move as untenable and a violation of India's territorial integrity. India reiterated its claim over Aksai Chin and asserted that China's actions have no legal basis.
Beyond diplomatic protests, India faces limited options to counter China's actions in Aksai Chin. The memory of the 1962 war still looms large, and India is wary of engaging in a military conflict with China. India has, however, bolstered its military presence along the line of actual control, the de facto border between the two countries in the region. This buildup reflects India's determination to deter any further Chinese aggression and protect its interests. Section 5. China's Endgame, Consolidation and Control. China's actions in Aksai Chin are part of a broader pattern of assertive behavior in the region. From the South China Sea to the Himalayas, China has demonstrated a growing willingness to assert its territorial claims and challenge the existing regional order. The establishment of Heian County is consistent with this assertive approach and reflects China's long-term strategic goals. China's endgame in Aksai Chin is clear: to consolidate its control over the disputed territory and prevent any future challenge to its sovereignty. By integrating Aksai Chin more deeply into its administrative and military infrastructure, China aims to make its presence in the region permanent and non-negotiable. This strategy is likely to further escalate tensions with India and could have far-reaching consequences for regional stability. Section 6. A history of failed negotiations. The Aksai Chin dispute has been a persistent thorn in the side of Sino-Indian relations for decades. Despite numerous rounds of negotiations and diplomatic efforts, the two countries have failed to reach a mutually acceptable solution. The lack of progress can be attributed to a complex interplay of factors including historical grievances, nationalist sentiments, and strategic considerations. One of the main obstacles to a resolution is the fundamental disagreement over the location of the border. India adheres to the Johnson Line, while China asserts the validity of the McCartney-MacDonald Line. These differing perceptions of the border have made it extremely difficult to find common ground. Moreover, both countries view Aksai Chin as strategically vital, further complicating the negotiation process. Section 7. The risk of escalation. The establishment of Heian County has significantly heightened the risk of military escalation between India and China. Both countries have increased their military presence along the line of actual control, and tensions remain high.
Any miscalculation or unexpected incident could spark a confrontation that neither side desires but which could quickly spiral out of control.
The rugged terrain and harsh climatic conditions in Aksai Chin further increase the risk of escalation. The lack of clearly defined boundaries and the presence of forward-deployed troops create a volatile situation where even minor incidents can be misinterpreted and lead to unintended consequences.
The potential for miscalculation is high, and the consequences of conflict would be devastating for both countries and the wider region.
Section 8. The world responds, calls for restraint. The international community has expressed growing concern over the escalating tensions between India and China. Major powers, including the United States, Russia, and Japan, have called for restraint and urged both sides to engage in dialogue to resolve the dispute peacefully.
The United Nations has also offered to mediate between India and China. Despite these calls for diplomacy, the situation remains tense, and the risk of escalation persists.
Both India and China have shown little appetite for compromise, and neither side wants to be seen as backing down. The international community's ability to influence the situation is limited, and the onus ultimately lies on India and China to find a peaceful solution. Section 9. Caught in the crossfire. While the geopolitical maneuvering between India and China grabs headlines, it is essential to remember the human cost of this conflict. The people living in the border regions are caught in the crossfire, their lives and livelihoods disrupted by the escalating tensions.
Their voices often go unheard amidst the diplomatic posturing and military buildup. The increased militarization of the region has had a profound impact on the lives of local communities. Their movements are restricted, their access to resources is limited, and the constant threat of conflict hangs over their heads.
The establishment of Heian County is likely to further exacerbate these challenges as China tightens its grip on the region and restricts the movement of people and goods. Section 10. The uncertain future of Aksai Chin. The establishment of Heian County marks a new chapter in the long and contentious history of the Aksai Chin dispute. China's actions have significantly escalated tensions with India and raised serious concerns about the potential for conflict. The future of Aksai Chin remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: the road to peace will be long and arduous. Both India and China have a responsibility to exercise restraint and seek a peaceful resolution to the dispute. Dialogue and diplomacy, however difficult, remain the only viable path forward. The alternative, a military conflict between two nuclear-armed neighbors, is unthinkable. The world is watching, hoping that wisdom and reason will prevail. The stakes are simply too high to let the situation spiral out of control.